Hey, welcome back. In episode 1, I talked about this idea I had about the guy that runs marketplace. When you're building a new product, it's very important that you understand what you're actually building. When a big team is building a product, the person who actually understands the customer problems is called a business analyst. And that's what we'll be doing today. While my idea seems great to me, it might not make much sense to you if you're not a runner, so I decided to tell you more about the guy that runs. I know this is still not coding, but it's equally important if you want to make a great product. So take on your business analyst hat and let's get started. So guy that runs, what on earth does that even mean? Ever saw anyone running outside with headphones? There's a great chance they might be listening to a virtual coach telling them how to run. But they're probably just listening to music. For me, they are a way to run alone, but not be lonely. They are often the motivation I need to keep going, and sometimes they are just plain fun, and they make my day better. In practice, these are pre-recorded voice recordings. Nothing more. Think podcasts, but tailored for use while running. When you start a guided run, you'll have your own coach speaking to you through your headphones, telling you what to do. Well, not exactly telling, more suggesting or reminding you of the best practices. Because it's pre-recorded, the coach doesn't really have access to your vitals, so it can't possibly tell you what to do exactly. Yet it's so helpful to have an encouraging voice in your head with you when you're out of juice. The virtual coach is encouraging, fun, inspiring, sometimes a little pushy as well. They can suggest a fun little pickup in the middle of the run to bring back your focus. A pickup just means to run faster for a couple of minutes. They remind you to hydrate, to look after your running form, not to overthink your activity, and so on. All the things you need when you're running a long run alone. The guided runs I use are either distance-based or duration-based. In practice, they are pretty similar. It's just the units of the progress that's different. In a duration-based run, the coach tells you how much time you ran and how much more you have to do. But in distance-based runs, they tell you the same thing, but in kilometers or miles. Well, it's not the same thing. And if you have a bad GPS reception, or if you are doing a treadmill workout, where you basically stay in the same coordinates for the whole duration of the run, then you'll see a difference between these two. It's also your pace. That's a runner's word for speed, and it's measured in minutes per kilometers or minutes per miles. You can run very slowly and still finish a duration-based run before the night falls, but that's not the case with the distance-based runs. There are also different kinds of runs in general. You have recovery runs or just runs, you have speed runs, and you have long runs. Recovery runs and long runs are the same thing, it's just the distance that's different. But yeah, they are a just take it easy and do it type of runs. While the speed runs are more sophisticated. During speed runs, you often have to give great performance, sometimes even everything you have in a short amount of time. So it's important that these are made properly. It's important that they are recorded by a real coach who knows what they're doing, not to harm the runner. These types of runs are often associated with training plans where you have weekly schedule of runs you need to run. You can use a training plan to prepare for a race. That can be a marathon, that's around 42 kilometers or 26 miles, a half marathon, which is half the distance, or any other distance, say 5K, 15K, or anything in between basically. And any distance longer than a marathon distance is called an ultramarathon distance. But that's already too much for today. Anyway, I believe that's enough for today. This will all make much more sense in the next video, so stay tuned and see you soon. Cheers, bye.